Suns Nation, all the sports fans out there. It is another edition of the Casual Sports Show. After a 1 week hiatus, we are back to try to give you some more content in quarantine. You want to follow this show, you know where to go. Social media is blowing up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course our YouTube page, all with the same tab, Casual Sports, Kazual with the Z at the end of the word sports. I am your host, Earl Burnett, and my co-host in the other box there is Sean McConnell.
You
back to do this thing again for you. So here we go. You can also follow us or keep up with our articles and keep up with what's going on in the Bird Gang on our website at www.ksrnaz.com. And you can still download the mobile app for Android and Apple to keep up with all of the content that's being on the network. So we are back after a 1 week hiatus, and hiatus, or everywhere you say that word.
Yeah, where were you locked up in? Was it Bora Bora that they extradited? What happened? I didn't understand where you went.
Nah, it ain't no DUIs or nothing like that jumping off. I was locked up in a dang on dentist chair that stopped voice talking. If you can't talk, there's no show. So
that's fair enough. Would have been a lot of nodding.
Let me get a sign language thing going, I guess. I don't know, but I don't think that would be good enough for the fans out there or for the show itself. But
hey, you know what?
What's that?
That might have been a little quiet, but you get the gist.
Yeah, that was a little quiet. You got to turn up your audio, man.
Man, come on, man. So
this is going to be one of those shows that's going to just be, hey, sports is trying to come back little by little, and we trying at the same time to keep content. So
what we got to get into the majority of this is I feel like we got to get into this whole NBA situation. I feel like that's the most intriguing right now.
Right. Okay, well, that's where we go because you got it. So let's go ahead and do what we normally do. Okay, just looking at the news here. There was a somewhat of a golf tournament that went down that I just got word of today with Tiger Woods.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, exactly. But did it seem real to you?
I mean, I'll be just straight honest with you. I didn't actually watch it. I was getting the updates like, hey, this happened, this was funny, or this was funny. I mean, to me, it seemed more like it was an entertainment thing. But to hear that Brady is actually not a good golfer, I got a kick out of that because it's good to see that he's actually not good at something. Right. And that Peyton Manning had the edge on him for it because that was always the thing, right? Like Brady always had his number. And, well, Peyton Manning got the end, the last laugh. But, yeah, I didn't really watch it. It's a cool concept. A lot of other athletes want to do it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
I mean, I saw just a little bit as well, but Tiger wasn't even engaged as much as to me. It looked like he was just like on the outside, like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm here. He just like he conversated that much. He was barely saying words here and there, but maybe that's just a little bit I seen. Maybe I missed a lot. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I didn't the whole thing. So.
Yeah, that was interesting. Though.
That's all I seen.
The trash talking from Peyton to Brady about Nick Foles and Eli and. That was the part that was worth seeing.
Brady kept stopping and turning around like, you got to be kidding me. You actually saying that?
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty good. But other than that, what else we got going on in the world of no sports? Of course, we know all of these sports are trying to find ways to come back. In fact, right here in Arizona, Governor Ducey said all open for sports to come back and do their thing. I'm like, woo.
From an economic standpoint, Ducey is right on the money to welcome all and local sports back. If the MLB wants to play all the games in Arizona, he's of course going to bring that in because that's going to be more revenue, more bodies in the state. But from a health standpoint, yeah, a little dicey. If you're looking at it still saying, hey, this is wave 2, is that a thing? Is it going to come back?
Exactly.
Is there
I missed something at the same time because Is everybody 100% sure that it's because of the heat that they don't think this virus can live in the heat, and that's why we're so comfortable now to just do everything and go back to whatever? I don't know. I haven't heard anything scientifically put together that says 100% that this thing is like a regular virus, and who knows?
Right. I mean, until there's unequivocal proof that, word of the day right there. Until there's proof that you can say that it's heat related. Because right now I haven't seen any studies of it either. Obviously, Arizona I feel like has done a decent job of staying in, but now every Arizonan is I could say itching. You're seeing people show up at the lakes, go out. They're getting tired of this. Now that school's officially over too, and we don't have to teach our kids anymore, like people want to get out. They want to go do something, and they're desperate for it. So I'm kind of weary about it.
Human beings, we're very weird, man. I mean,
yeah. Have you met me?
Yeah, it's like really. I mean, come on now. When this thing went down, everybody was terrified.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Yeah, we better stay home." And now everybody fighting for their rights to leave their homes before the thing is ending. I mean, it's like, which one do you want? Save your life or not?
And if you notice too, I don't know about you, but this is me for sure. Like week 1, I was like scrubbing every inch of the countertops, and now it's just kind of like just wipe it and we're good and just move on.
It was cool, yeah. And everybody was washing their hands like crazy.
I was like bleeding to the point I was washing my hands so much. It was too much. It was too much. I was cracking my skin.
I mean, serious side, dude, I really do still believe that another wave of this thing is coming. I mean, I don't know why I think that, because I think we're a little too ahead of trying to get everything back to normal. But yet at the same time, we're still in limbo, or we're still in trying to figure this thing out type of, as far as what this virus is all about.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things left to be learned about it.
Oh, yes, a lot. And I'm hearing a whole lot of different stories about a vaccine is almost being done. But who's really telling the freaking truth?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really knows anything. So you basically have to pretty much be on your own and have your own discretion and go, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this for my family, period.
Yeah. Everyone's got to take their best judgment, because obviously, like, for example, my wife with the flu shot has on a couple of occasions gotten the flu after the flu shot. And you think to yourself, like, that's not how that's supposed to work. For me, I've maybe missed the flu shot like 3 times in my life. Right? So it's totally different. And what's in these vaccines? What is it? How is it actually good for you? Is it not? Like, there's this whole conundrum that each person has to weigh for themselves and decide what's good and what's not. I'm not saying yes vaccines or no vaccines to anybody, because that's entirely their, opinion and their right as a free American to do what you want to do. It's such a weird time, because now, like, we're all stuck in our houses. It's turning us into paranoid freaks, and which is making, obviously you and I love conspiracies, but it's making it like, dude, you got to turn down the internet. Like, you're reading into too many conspiracies and you're believing too much. So it's hard.
Of that person that, but I never really jump on the conspiracy bandwagon type thing. But sometimes you can hear some things that makes you kind of go, okay, who knows? That could be true or not.
Right.
I have no idea. But over the course of the last, I hate to go way back because it makes me seem so freaking old, but go back 15 to 20 years. I mean, there's a I don't like a disability, I call it, called autism. I know you heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Autism used to be very, very quiet. You really rarely heard about it. Now, all of a sudden, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's. I mean, I don't think there's a family anywhere that has not been touched by autism at some point, somewhere, somehow in their family, some way, somehow.
That's fair.
And then you think about it, you're like, where is this coming from? And a lot of people are trying to say it's a deformity in some of these vaccines that they give these kids at birth.
I've heard that.
And it's like, wow. And then I start thinking about that. So that's it could be true, because where did it come from all of a sudden and be so prevalent now? It's like everywhere.
This is the one time that I need my wife behind me giving me the actual thing. So she's like studied into this a lot and hasn't found that to be the case. But with that being said, and a lot of the reasons why I think autism is a lot more prevalent now is because of certain conditions like Asperger's, you might have heard of, is now actually part of the spectrum of autism. So there's severe autism to mild autism, like where my oldest has mild autism, and or they say high functioning. And I think the range is way more open now too, and it's a lot about how children or people perceive and sense things around them. So it's definitely one of those things. And I for a while thought that vaccine thing was legit, and it made a lot of sense to me. But just there's more and more hasn't been enough evidence about it, so I can't really take it as my belief. But
yeah, I mean,
it's
I don't really
certainly interesting.
I got to see stuff for myself, and I have to have stat numbers in front of me to really make a informed decision or informed, not to know about it. I got to get more reading and up on it, a little more knowledge on it. But I'm just saying, it just kind of seems like you didn't really hear about autism that much,
and now you do.
And now all of a sudden it's just everywhere. I mean, but I mean, I don't know. Vaccines it's either you do or you don't. I mean,
yeah.
So I don't know.
And there's a lot of them. I mean, newborns get a lot of them.
I'm glad you said that, because that's the thought, the thing I'm talking about. It's so many of them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you get all your vaccines. It's like you got to keep them on this list.
Yeah.
And the child has to come back and keep getting another one and another one, and until they have all of them to go to school or to have them to do everything.
Or to travel.
Yeah, or to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I mean, yeah, it's stopping something else that might be deadly down the line, but is it causing other things? Is it causing dysfunctions in the head and the brain and stuff that's forming the wrong way? Who knows what these things are causing?
Right.
So, I don't know. That could be conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, it is until there's proof to fuel the other side. I mean, it is all conspiracy, and obviously, if it is true, there's going to be a lot of people trying to make sure that it's not leaked out. So, yeah, it's a tough one for me for sure, because you err on the side of caution and you take it anyway, and you might be living in the Matrix your whole life. You don't even know it.
Exactly. All right, so what you got with the NBA coming back?
The NBA, man. First off, I got to start with this story, because this is relevant to what we were just talking about. Patrick Ewing has coronavirus. Yeah. So, and some people had said, Patrick had dealt with a lot tougher enemies than coronavirus in his past. So we all hope and pray that Patrick's going to come out of this okay.
He got sent home today, so they say he's on his way out of it. So
and he returned a statement saying, "I want to thank all the doctors and hospital staff for taking care of my father during his stay." Oh, this is his son. Sorry, taking care of my father during his stay, as well as everyone who has reached out with thoughts and prayers to us. And since his diagnosis, my father is now home and getting better. We'll continue to watch his symptoms and follow the CDC guidelines. I hope everyone continues to stay safe and protect yourselves and your loved ones. So, this virus is starting to hit people all over the board. People people that you've heard of. So it's it's crazy, man.
So what do you think? What do you think it's going to look like? I mean, because the NBA, all these sports giving the nod to come back, and Arizona's been the spot. As far as so-called safe enough to come back because of the heat and all of those things. But yet everybody's coming back, and there's not going to be any fans in the stadiums.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be I think the last shoe to drop is when they allow full capacity stadiums, and I still think we're a ways away from it. The one proponent that's going to keep pushing for it to happen is obviously going to be the NFL. Right. They're the type that they don't care about what you believe on Sundays, where you go to church or don't go to church. They don't care about what plans you may have during the week or the weekend. They want to make their money. They want you in their seats, and they want you paying for their product. What it's going to look like out the gate, especially if, let's say, MLB, this is going to be the same scenario, transition back to NBA for Orlando if that happens, but if MLB all comes to Arizona, you're going to see, it's just going to happen. You're going to see a rise in cases again, just because fans are going to come in, player, personnel, GMs, staff, everyone's coming in to this one hub if they're not here already based on where they vacation or whatnot. And
travel has to happen for that to take place.
And travel is how this thing spreads, obviously.
And you can't transport nobody. It's not like...
Right. And then now the NFL is looking into having some sort of N95 adaptation into their helmets, which is great. Baseball, if they can look into the Korean Baseball League and do what they're doing and have masks on, that's great. But you still have to worry about the fans.
Right. Yeah. that's going to be kind of tricky, man. And it seems like everybody's afraid to make that first move. They're waiting on somebody to say, let's watch them do it, and if it happens, we can be cool to come do it too.
Right.
But it's
or
like,
improve on it or change it.
I might go ahead and make a move, man. But I think coming back is still too early. That's just it's only one man's opinion.
Yeah.
I think all year long, we've been in the thing this long. You might as well let it just play out the rest of the year and bring sports back next year when we have a vaccine in place.
Yeah, you could.
That's the safest thing that I keep going back to. I know everybody keeps saying, yeah, but we got a right to do this and we got a right to do that. Yeah, you sure do, but still.
And people want to see a champion. And so that's what the NBA is dealing with is, are we doing a whole team playoff? Are we going to, some have said they want to play a couple regular season games first. Disney World seems to be the location. Makes most sense because obviously Disney, ESPN, that's a huge connection, and that's a huge campus complex in Florida.
Yeah.
The wide world of sports, it is like gigantic.
Right.
About all the bubbles that they have and the arenas. And so, I mean, that's going to be the most interesting to me is having an NBA all-team playoff. That right now would make the Suns a playoff team. And the NHL is experiencing something different. They've announced that, and the Coyotes are now a playoff team. So do you think the Suns have a chance to win this asterisk season and be a champion?
This season?
This season. If they do an all-team playoff. No? One game elimination?
No.
You're not going to take Booker one game against anybody?
No. Well, anybody. They can go up and, beat a few teams. We're talking about championship, win the whole thing? No way. No way. You don't have enough to beat anybody in the West.
Anybody in the West. So you don't think they win one West game. So let's just assume that they jumble it all up.
The West, the lower seeds, the Kings and those type of teams. But we're talking what? Oh, okay, you can probably beat Golden State because they still a little beat up. They still ain't got everybody back. You can beat those teams. But you're talking about a Houston team, two LA teams that are strong as heck, and you still got. I don't even think we can beat OKC.
They've had our number that year. That's true.
It's still so many Western teams that are before us that's got way more talent on their team than us.
I assume that if they're going to be doing a whole team bracket, that it wouldn't just be East-West anymore. It would be mixed up based on wins.
It's going to be total NBA.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I would do if it was me. So that would put you up against a little bit more Eastern teams, hopefully. So you're looking at Cleveland, the Hawks, Pistons.
A little longer. You can last a little longer in the thing.
That's what I'm saying. And then maybe you just get hot and you get a little magic, and maybe some team just doesn't have it. Maybe let's just say, James Harden's been eating too many Mike and Ikes and isn't in shape by the time of the game or whatever his snack of choice is. And then all of a sudden you upset the Rockets and you might make the Elite Eight.
Right.
Is there a chance? Are you saying there's even just a little chance for that?
So are they keeping? Will it be everything staying one game elimination, or is it going to end up with two? The 3-game or the 5-game or the 7-game by the time you get
because it's the pros. I think once you get Jay just commented said Lakers. I'm about to block him from this page. If it's the NBA and it's the pros and you're doing a tournament, I think the final should be, let's say, best of 5, and everything else should just be single game. Because it's a lot of games, and you're going to have people buying into this. I mean, you could even just be kind of jerks about it and make it all like an NBA TV package thing that you have to pay for. Fans will still watch that, even though it's going to be terrible quality ball.
You and I both know you've been in sports before. I've been in it before, and everybody that's played it and everybody that's watched these teams and all of what's going on, talent wins out. Yeah, and the teams usually win when they got the best talent on their team. And the Suns are not there. The Suns are not in that category yet. And I hate to say that, but, it's the truth. DeAndre Ayton hasn't grown up yet and got where he needs to be at. The supporting cast.
And we don't know what he's been up to.
They haven't played together all season. Yeah. So it's like, it's not,
But nobody has.
That's
the point. That's the equalizer. Nobody's been playing. And as to Jay's point, because since Jay's, just chilling with a growler at home right now, says James Harden's at the Gentlemen's Club. So I don't think he's going if the games return. I think he's just going to chill at the Gentlemen's Club is what Jay is saying. So we got a chance to beat Houston. It could work. For all we know, Aiton's been taking some Beachbody online Tae Bo classes and learned how to be a little bit more aggressive and learn how to use those elbows.
You really believe that?
Not for a second. He's been playing Call of Duty.
I mean, I love where this Suns team is headed future wise, but I don't know, man. I don't see they're like a major piece away from just being a solid team.
Of course.
They're too up and down. It's like there's no oh, I just know this is what we're going to get from this team. There's nothing like that around this team. It's so much.
I'm trying to sell you on some positivity, though. This would technically be.
If your positivity is coming all COVID-19 based, and that's good because that's the reality. That's where we are. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We could beat some of them Easter teams. I know that. But
let me just. I want to see what this sentence does to you. Just on the meter here. This would be Devin Booker's first quote unquote playoff experience in the pros ever. Does he all of a sudden hit a new gear? Does he draw back?
He hasn't even figured out how to do it in the regular season.
Because he hasn't been in the playoffs before. You see some people wake up when they hit the playoffs.
To make it to the playoffs.
Hey, he just got gifted a great gift being put into a playoff, whether or not he did anything for it or not.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. I'm hoping Ayton is working out and doing his thing and lifting, getting some more weight on him, or you know.
There's one thing we do know. Javon Adams is working out harder than Ayton is right now, and that's not from me. That's from Jay himself.
Jay working harder in the studio, yeah.
Hey, he's dropping bars and he's dropping miles on the trail. So shout out to Jay. He doesn't stop working.
Absolutely, but yeah, man, that's a good. COVID-19 throws in the big old ingredients in the pot where anything could happen because you have no idea. But,
anything's possible. Kevin Garnett.
Possible. And then you got to also factor in injuries coming back from COVID-19, and you got to also factor COVID-19 itself. Somebody contracted again, and the whole thing
shuts it down right before you get to the Elite Eight, and it's just like, well, and these are the top 8 champions. It doesn't make sense
to me at all in the beginning to be coming back without a vaccine to begin with. I mean, because somebody's gonna come down with this thing again.
It just seems like a likelihood.
Everything up, and Patrick Ewing, bam, he's already just now, getting it. And he ain't even been around anybody as far as NBA goes.
Right.
When they start this thing opening back up again, somebody's gonna contract this thing somewhere, somehow.
As wild as this is, and I don't think this is possible, but they had tried to say like no one's allowed to leave the compound. And I don't know about you, but a bunch of these guys, some of them are still kids. They're gonna find a way to escape, go to the corner store, grab some snacks. Like they're not gonna just stay put. It's not gonna happen. So I mean that's a huge hang up that I think the players aren't going to go for, most of them, because it's not just a collective, like everyone's got to agree, and if they don't, then what happens? Are they fined? Do they leave the team? What happens?
Oh man,
it's weird.
Yeah, Jay makes a good point here because when all the sports, not just NBA, when these sports start to come back, no matter how it looks when they come back, people will flock to it.
Yeah. We're starving for it. We're watching 90s Bulls because we're so bored.
But as soon, the minute or the second somebody comes down with this thing and it shuts back down again, you can count this thing done.
Yeah, that's
you
done.
You can count it done until there's a vaccine in place, and who knows when that's going to be.
Right.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah, because there's no guarantee that it's going to be dead and gone. So.
Yeah, they may treat it like it's a 14-day, somebody got hurt and you're out for 14 days. You got to be quarantined and all that. But,
how long is that tournament going to go?
Right. I don't know. To me, personally, if I was commissioner, I know it's got to be about the money. It's going to be about the money when it boils down to it. All those dollars that are being lost, I get that. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of the matter. It's about the dollar bill, period. But when it comes down to it, this thing can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about this thing. All we know right now, we were in quarantine for 2 months now, and now we're just coming back out of it. But the same thing that we were scared of is still out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
and the thing that we're lacking is more data.
I think this is a big risk as far as families go because they're talking about opening schools up again. When you open up schools, that's like just going ahead and just giving everybody this thing. Because when kids start running around with schools, man, they carry everything. They bring it to their house. They bring it everywhere.
The CDC's guidelines for school, I can just tell you, my kid's private school, that's going to be a tough one for them to implement. So we might be going back into the distance learning scenario come next year. And, I don't want to teach 5th and 1st grade. I really don't. That's going to be rough.
Yeah, Jay said something over here about the UFC dealt with it when it came back. But that's on a lower scale.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 1 or 2 people. You can put them. You can shut that thing down. Anything, because fights can be.
There's still trainers and entourage and all that, but
yeah, and you can always move fights back and move it back and move it back. But NFL, you can't do that. Basketball, you can't do that. You gotta. If more than one person gets the thing, that's your league.
That could be, yeah. Especially if they're all in one place. That's right. That is
and they
tricky.
Are supposed to be in one place, right? I mean, because we know California's not coming back.
I mean, here's the flip side of that coin. A lot of these guys aren't at high risk, right? And that's usually where this number of deaths is coming from, is the older generations and the high risk. So do you just let them play, all of them? If you're sick or not, you want to have a Jordan flu game, like, go for it. And everyone just, after the season, quote-unquote season or whatever it is, tournament's over, they have to stay all together again for 2 weeks and kind of treat it like when you used to have chicken pox as a kid and everyone in the neighborhood would stay with you and get it over with. That doesn't seem safe, but that's some approach that some people would take.
Well, we will see what happens because it's getting closer and closer. Something has to take place, and it looks like they're trying to make moves and head in that direction and get everything trying to come back, little by little. No fans in the seats first, and then see where it goes from there. But right now, all the fans and everybody in the media and all the article writers and all of the are tired of having to do all these comparisons that they're doing on everything that's on social media now. I'm so tired of it. Oh, yeah, who would you take?
Starting
this person
5.
Or that person? This person or that person? Who you want to do this? I mean, I'm getting so tired.
What, you don't like comparing the all-time starting 5s? Like, they had the so the ESPN put out the Warriors one, which was basically the Warriors with Wilt in it, right? And then they said, are they going to beat the 90s Bulls? And I'm like, what do you think's going to happen? The Bulls are going to destroy them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they did it with the Lakers. Like, the best Lakers versus basically the Warriors as they are now, the Lakers would destroy them. And I hate the Lakers.
Right.
This Warrior best of 5 team is trash.
I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude that do that comparison stuff from one decade or one era to another. I don't do that, man.
Is that just because the game of play, the style of play has changed mostly because you can't predict it?
Right. And to be honest, everything evolves.
Yeah.
Right. So it only makes common sense that everything now, guys are bigger, stronger, faster now than they were back then. It only makes sense to me. I mean,
maybe not stronger.
All of the technology that they have now that they didn't have back then to keep guys playing. I mean, everything is different. The style of play is different.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
the rules definitely dictate most of it. I mean, you can't hand check. I mean, all that stuff makes a very big difference. So you cannot compare Magic's era and compare him to who's today's so-called Magic. LeBron, they want to say that is, or whoever. They compare LeBron to every one of them in the back. I mean, in the back.
Why can't LeBron just be LeBron?
Right. But still, it's like, dude, it looks totally. It's like night and day to me. I don't think it can be something that you compare. Did you see that? Tell me you see the Bleacher Report do that little the little show they do about what's it called?
Game of Zones.
Game of Zones. Oh man,
I love Game of Zones.
I love it. I'll sit there. I watch every episode again, all the way up to the last one.
And the last one was the best one, where they basically just do what we're talking about. It's the dream team versus whatever the best players are now.
That's where I was leaning toward, the dream team versus today's dream team.
Dream team would have killed. They would have killed him.
Yeah, because to me, and if you really want to just go down right, if we had to just say you have to make a choice, There's no comparison to the number one dream team to any team that try to play that team.
Not a chance. The dream team's
You know
bench
why?
would beat the best
You know
team.
why? You know why? Because today's teams don't play from the inside out
Right.
anymore.
They play outside in. They
Right.
don't even go in. They just play on the outside.
The dudes we had on Dream Team, Magic, and all those dudes would just feed all the big trees in their pose.
Yeah.
And they would get killed. Karl Malone, David Rob. I mean, they would get killed by all these dudes. No way. I don't think it's even a comparison.
The second
it doesn't make any sense to do it.
The second they get hit with the Karl Malone elbow.
No. No.
I mean, Harden wouldn't even get the ball out of his hands. He'd be on the floor.
Yeah, and all this 3-point shooting stuff. I remember my coach when I played ball. My coach used to hate settling for a three.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference between a good three and a bad three. He used to hate settling for a three when you can work the ball around and get a better shot, better percentage shot, and you settle for a three. He used to pull you out the game. You just start chucking threes up.
Mine, cross-court passes. If you did a cross-court pass, go sit down. You're done. Don't throw it across the court.
Yeah, basketball's changed, bro.
Now that's all it is. It's cross-court pass to a three. That's it. From corner to corner. Just shoot a three. Okay, back and forth. That's all they do.
Bro. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break here. Get into our Cardinal talk. And who should we go get to fill in the last Russian spot on this dang team?
You know who it is.
Casual Sports Show. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell. Be right back.
Whether a growing family or an upcoming retirement, Debbie Bishop of Homeowners Financial Group USA LLC is there to help. As a generational lender, Debbie assists everyone from first-time homebuyers to seniors looking into reverse mortgages. With products like FHA, VA, conventional, and jumbo financing, Debbie will work with you to find the loan to best fit your needs. Call 480-305-8505 for a consultation or apply online at homeownersfg.com/Debbie Bishop. NMLS number 234947, BK 0906222, and MLS number 93718, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Ed Smith, host of the Easy Sports Talk Show. In addition to hosting the show every Saturday, did you know I'm also an inspirational and motivational speaker? Utilizing life experience in my 15-year professional sports career, I offer programs to a wide variety of audiences. Tips from the locker room to the boardroom and beyond. Whether you're a corporate executive, sports organization, or faith-based organization, Ed Smith Speaks can customize a team-building, motivational, and inspirational program to fill your needs. I'd love to come inspire and motivate your group to create lifelong shining moments. To learn more about booking me for your event, visit edsmithspeaks.com or contact me directly at info@edsmithspeaks.com.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Welcome back into the Casual House, Bird Gang. And it's that time where we give y'all our Cardinal perspective. Some serious rumors were going down over the weekend that just really caught my eye. That took me back to one of our shows a long way back when free agency started. Or before that, actually, that we had a show that I kind of mentioned this guy that I wanted to see us go after. But then, to me, it seemed impossible, and even still now, it still seems impossible. But man, would you love for it to go down? And I'm talking about my boy Everson Griffen coming here. Oh my goodness, I've been wanting this dude I've been wanting the Cardinals to reach out and get this dude before anybody else out there.
His senior year in high school.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, if we can get that seasoned vet on that other edge, oh my goodness. I mean, it would be nice. It would be really nice. But the question is going to be, who would you sacrifice, and then what would you have to do? You got to make some kind of money. You got to make some kind of free up money somehow to get money to bring that type of guy in. And I know Hassan Reddick is the only chip we got right now, but what kind of value is that chip?
It can't be much,
right?
I mean,
done already, right?
Right. Otherwise, the deal would have been done, a year ago.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He opted out, right? So he is an unrestricted free agent, right? Griffen.
Yes, he is.
So
it's like you got to deal with the Vikings to get him. You got to go deal with him personally, and he's sitting back in the cut waiting. He's saying he's just waiting for that perfect team to come around. But what perfect team is just ripe and ready for you to come to be that last piece that they need to make that next step?
That's one of those deals where you just go to every player on your team. You just make it a Zoom call with 53 players, and you say, I need all of you to take a $1.5 million pay cut. No, you don't understand. I need you to do this.
You be living in sports fantasy land.
I need all of you to. Steve Keim calls up. He's got like 2 in his hand. He's like, hey, I need you all to take a pay cut. And then Everson Griffen pops up on the Zoom call, and they're like, yeah, done. Sign it. Let's all take the pay cut. Bring him in. That's what you got to bring this guy in.
Have to, man. At least try to do the best you can to get him here, because I mean, think about our defense right now. Yes, we brought in pieces that are going to cover, the spots we were missing, but where we really struggle at is getting pressure on a quarterback. Yeah. Yes, Chandler's going to do what Chandler does, but everybody's saying, okay, yeah, we got Kennard. Well, guess what? Kennard is the outside linebacker. We need another defensive edge guy.
Yeah.
And so Zach Allen has yet to be proven. Of course, we know because of the injuries, but can he come in and still do what we expect him to do?
Yeah.
But I don't know. When it comes to experience, and this dude's been to Pro Bowls, and I mean, you think about having Chandler coming off one side and Griffen from the other side, and then all that weight in the middle. Man, it's like, that's the piece that would boost this team definitely into contention.
Well, that's the counterpunch to San Fran getting who did they just get? Williams on the line, right? On draft day. Exactly. That's the counterpunch.
That's a good point. That would be the counter, because you have to counter them.
Yeah, I mean, it's chess pieces. Okay, well, I'm putting that chess piece here then.
Because they keep staying one step ahead of you.
Yeah.
Making moves. And so this will be a step you can pull right next to him again if you get this guy. Now, the question is, how are we going to pull it off? Because have all our rookies signed yet? All of them signed contracts yet?
As far as I know, I haven't heard anyone not sign.
I think they have. And that was all that was left that needed to be done salary cap-wise.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Hassan Reddick's contract is no more than probably, 4 or less?
Loading. It's loading. While that's loading.
Whatever it may be, contract, the contract has to be, I don't know. I'm looking at what do you think Everson is asking for? Is he trying to do the Clowney thing?
I mean, I can only imagine, right? Because I feel like Griffin's more valuable than Clowney is.
Of course. So now you know if that's the case, it's going to cost more than Clowney.
Yeah.
And Clowney wanted $15 million a year. So can we free up close to 15 to 18 to 20 mil to give to.
I mean, is Chandler willing to take half and just give his half to him? I mean, we could do that, right? It's just kind of like a half and half. They're bookends, so they should just split it. No, that's not how that works.
It does come down to how bad do you want to really win. I mean, some teams is all about the money. Hey, we know we ain't going anywhere, so I'm going to make my money.
Come on, Mr. Bidwell. Open up that checkbook.
When you see an opportunity, hey, wait a minute, this piece can put us over the next level, and we already got continuity with our offense. We don't need a bunch of trying to figure things out anymore. We have that continuity with Kyler and the three receivers that we have, and then of course he has to work with Hopkins for a while, but still Hopkins is going to be Hopkins.
Right.
You can line him up, and he's going to demand a double team regardless.
Yeah, just because of his ability to snatch balls out of the air.
So it doesn't really matter, man. If you can bring this guy, the defense is going to be the issue. We hung in those 49er games last year with our offense. Our defense do jack.
And if we can get them to do jack.
Exactly.
And Jill.
That's my point. If our defense can come up to the level to just average, I mean, we would be a hard team to deal with.
Or at least have a specialty. This defense is good at this.
Exactly.
Then you're good to go. The one bummer on this is John Gambadoro, who has a close source, is saying that we don't have interest in Everson Griffen. Of course.
And you always going to have the people that say we do. There's always somebody that feels they're closer on the inside.
I just get this feeling that Keim is just feeling a little bit more nostalgic lately.
Yeah.
Getting the guys that are here. I mean, he's finally recruiting within, right? He's getting the guys back that came from Arizona, that left to go to college elsewhere and went to another team. And I feel like he's bringing these guys back a little bit. I mean, you've got Eno in. He took Suggs last year. I mean, that was a terrible idea, but he took Suggs last year. I feel like Keim's a little bit more sentimental these days, and he wants some Arizona guys back in the house. So I'm not going to believe the John Gamble report. I'm going to be positive.
The John Gambadoro report is usually it's usually a little bit more closer to where everything else is.
Right.
Because think about it. Those guys that are reporting Arizona news, they don't watch the freaking Cardinals.
Right. I mean, that was from an ESPN guy.
They ain't watched the Cardinals all season last year. All they can go off of is some tape, and they throw on a tape. That's all they got to go off of. And then they'll probably dip their head in a little bit and try to listen to what would put their ear to the grind and find out what's going on in Arizona news.
Yeah.
But the guy that's on the inside of Arizona and knows the Arizona news and really close to the team, that's probably the guy you want to listen to because that's the guy that knows because he's here and he's seeing it every day and he's right there with the team.
One of these reports was from Jeremy Fowler, and he is a ESPN guy, a national guy. So
Right. National guys never really. I mean, they do a wonderful job. I'm not going to say they don't do their homework, but they have to do their Cardinal homework. It kind of feels like it's not worth the time to come do your Cardinal homework.
Well, they're also looking at Arizona from space, whereas Gamble's looking at Arizona from down the street.
Exactly. I mean, and that's proven every year the draft comes by. Everybody nationally was saying what? They better go offensive line. What if you were paying attention to the Cardinals? Their offensive line was good at the end of the season.
There was continuity.
You want the proof of that? Why did Kenyon Drake earn a bigger contract?
He was able to run through holes.
Think he did that by himself?
No.
Exactly. He was a superstar down the stretch because that offensive line was playing like that.
Right.
So, hey, it wasn't the offensive line. Now, if you were paying attention to that and you were really watching Cardinal games,
well, here's the thing. Kenyon Drake got paid because he could run through a hole unlike somebody else. Okay, there was a hole there. It might have been there all year for all we know, but he ran through it unlike this other guy who doesn't do that anymore because he's not here. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. I don't think the hole was there all year, though, actually, because in the beginning, the offensive line stink. They gave up those stacks. They gave up this and that, didn't open holes. But they
did not make David Johnson dance in the backfield, and you know it.
No, they did not. You know my stance on that. Come on now, man. Yeah, the offensive line in the beginning, or maybe they were pulling that. Maybe they were pulling that. Any given Sunday thing on Willie Beeman that they were doing it on David Johnson. He's in again, just don't block.
or the longest yard, they did it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, did old Crew? What's his name?
Yeah, Crew? Paul Crew.
Yeah.
I don't have any quotes from that movie. I should. Darn it.
Right. But man, Kenyon Drake had an awesome season at the end of that year, but that offensive line had a lot to do with that. And so it was an offensive line. I think nationally, like I said, they just from a distance, and so it might be somebody, I know a person here, I know a person there that kind of thinks it could go this way or whatever, and they give an opinion, and that's why we end up with all these rumors in the dang gone.
Right. But rumors are fun when there's no sports, so I'll give them that.
Hell yeah. But, man.
You could bring back that Des Bryant thing, and it might take off.
And now that dude kind of washed out now because he's washed up now. He's not
hey,
the same.
He could be the wide receiver coach. You don't know.
Oh, man. Oh, you trying to get me. You trying to get me. Okay, all right, okay. You'll see down the line one day. You'll see him Dallas Cowboys wide receiver.
So if it's not Griffen, who do you think we're going for then? Who else is out there? There's not a lot going on right now.
At this time, it's like that opportunity is there if you can make it happen. If you can't, you stick with what you have and try to see what you got and roll with the second year guy to see what Zach Allen's going to be about.
I still like what we got.
Still like him. Oh yeah, I love it. I love him, but it's like you can't. There's no premium on experience.
No.
If you got that, man, I take that over anything. But if we don't, then that'll just be another weak side or weak link that we still have on defense. Pass rushing.
That's true.
But then you got to start utilizing Simmons then a little bit better in the pass rush.
You know what? I'm looking at the list. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, which brings me to where are we going to be playing him at? Predominantly, because they said something about making him the wheel or the buck linebacker, I believe.
Just don't rename positions again, okay? It didn't work when we did the dollar backer. Let's just put him at linebacker and let him play. I'm looking at the list of top free agents right now that are still left, and I saw a name and I just can't. It's totally off topic, but I just can't believe this guy is this old. Cameron Wake. He's 38.
Is he?
He's 38. He played last year for the Titans and got four. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. 4 tackles. Yeah. But in 2018, he was still with the Dolphins for a long, long time.
He was a beast, though.
Yeah.
At one point, at
he's
his
free agent.
He's old now, I guess.
38.
I didn't know he was 38, though.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Who else is out there as far as edge rushers go? Besides Clowney and Griffen.
You want just edge, or do you want anything D line?
It has to be D at defensive ends because all the linebackers in this 4-3 is we have though. The 3-4 that we have are all we got plenty of that.
You got
so it has to be the guys on the line in the front.
If this is accurate, I see Jabal Sheard, Ezekiel Ansah. They're both 31
right now.
According to this list, it says, let's see when this was updated last. It says May 23rd.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. If he's available, was he a bust?
Yeah, maybe.
So he
didn't do well with Seattle. When he went to Seattle, he did not do much of anything.
When he got drafted.
Oh, well,
coming out of the draft, one of those, he's the next whatever, and he was on that high list of top 10 in the draft.
I would definitely say that he didn't play to his potential. He did well against us when he was with Detroit, but he never this guy's taking over the game.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag. It's like, okay, why is he not, maximizing his potential? What's going on?
There's one guy. There's one guy right here, number 31 on this list, edge rusher from the Giants, 29, Marcus Golden.
Nobody picking him up, huh?
Still on the list, it looks like. So, I say you go bring back the junkyard dog. Bring him back. Why not?
Son, there's a reason that he's still on the list.
I know, but still. I like how he plays.
And junkyard probably fit in better in Bruce Arians in that system.
Yeah.
But this
I'd be happy for him.
Defense and everything is different, and he may not fit in right.
No, that's fair.
One thing I can say that I think that does fit, the 4-3 is all about speed, and he is a speed rusher. He's not you don't need the big heavy guys on the edge. You need the big heavy guys in the middle, the nose tackle guy that can move and take two people, take a double team.
But he can bull rush you too.
right. Everybody else should be speed and that can cover in space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's that build of, he should be able to move. He's not the biggest guy, so he's not going to bull rush anybody. But he's that speed that can be that outside linebacker or inside guy that can use his speed to get where he needs to go. Yeah. I don't know, but I just think they need a bigger edge rusher like a Everson Griffen or Clowney, which we know we spent all our money up, so we can't afford that.
There's three other names that I would say you don't go after on this list: Michael Bennett, Vinny Curry, and Clay Matthews. Those are guys I wouldn't go after. Depth.
Why not Clay?
Clay's 34.
Suggs.
Right, it's another Suggs. I mean, this isn't gonna. These retreads don't always work. I mean, the John Abraham one worked pretty well. The Dwight Freeney one worked well late in the season, but I wouldn't pick up Clay Matthews. Sorry.
I'm away with that. So sometimes you can just put him in one of those packages, and you don't play him every down. I mean, of course, you wouldn't play him.
Do
every
that with
down.
Cameron Wake then. I mean, he's got to be cheaper. He's 38.
How old is I thought now you wanted to go with age. Matthews would be more seeming to 38 to me than
34.
Wade.
That long hair isn't gray yet. He's 34.
Wow. I would take Matthews if I had to take my choice between them two old dudes.
Somehow on that list, though, that Wake is like 20 positions higher. They think he's better. So, I don't know. Yeah.
But that's two different positions, though. I mean,
they have them both as edge, but I mean, yeah, it all depends on fit. So.
Oh, don't make me break out today's soundbite. All right, so, man, where do you think Simmons should be played?
Personally, I think you need to play.
You make any choice. Remember, rookie. Remember, the rookie.
Yeah,
and not that rookie. That's that instant star. Rookie.
Right. So I still think. I mean, it's football, right? And it's pro football, and you play one game a week. I think you let him situationally change week to week. He does the film study. He knows what to expect on this week. He knows what to expect on that week. And to his credit, he would most likely be in the same spot for 3 divisional games, right? He would play the same positions for those games. So that's 6 games he doesn't have to, it's just, he does the same thing. I think you line him up where you need him. Some games you're going to need him opposite of Chandler Jones on packages. Some games you're going to need him covering tight ends. Probably most of the games, let's just be honest. And then some other games you might have him in the end zone trying to block a pass. Who knows?
I'm going to be doing another one of those videos and breaking down why those tight ends were running free. And so far as I'm looking at it, every game I'm watching on tape,
there's at least 100 yards each game.
Yeah, those games, Hicks was just coming to this team, learning how to play this.
Yeah. Uh-oh, did we lose Earl?
Next year, to be because I can see a lot of times on tape he was behind by 1 split second behind. Oh, it's like reacting like, oh, that was my guy, and he was like, and that guy was the tight end. Sometimes, other times that was Hassan Reddick doing the same exact thing.
Right.
So it's like this guy, but Simmons can make up for that with speed and his length.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that size that Hicks has.
He can stretch his arm out and touch dude's back. What I'm saying? He's just that long, and he can cover receivers. So that's where you want to keep him on the tight end, regardless. I don't care what tight end it is. That's probably where I would play him at. But let's go do a segment that we normally do about this time and go back in our history and find out if we can see what happened on this day in sports. Love that intake. All right, man. What is it? May 25th?
Today's the 25th. I got one for you if you want to trade back and forth.
Oh, go ahead, man.
1983, Kirk Gibson, former D-backs manager of the Tigers at the time, and Jorge Orta of the Blue Jays hit inside the park home runs on the same day.
Wow. On the same freaking day. Okay, let's go to, man, I could go anywhere. Man, 1935? But a significant record, though. Jesse Owens equals a he broke 4 records in 45 minutes at a meet in Ann Arbor in Michigan. That wasn't the Olympics, though, but he broke world records as Jesse Owens, of course, did back in the day. So, I'm kind of scrolling here, so give me a second.
I got one for you. 1997, Minnesota Twins retire Kirby Puckett's uniform number.
What year?
97.
Okay, 97. Okay, you came up to date. I went back to 50-something. Hold on a second. It's not too many other things happen on this day other than a few things baseball-wise. What about birthdays?
Well, here you go. 2000, Marion Jones had the drug scandal. It was rescinded then.
Really?
Yeah. In 2000, they rescinded it on this day.
Right. Oh, that was big.
That was big.
Yeah, that was really big. Let's see. I don't see much of anything. Everything else is in the 30s and 50s, and it's not insignificant. I mean, it is what it is, but
it's not current, so it's not significant. Is that what you're saying?
It's not giving you,
Come on, man.
All right, I guess that's it. Birthdays wise, anybody got any birthdays that are happening on today's date?
On today, the birthdays.
Recognizable birthdays. Casey Jones' birthday is today, 1932. Wow. Damn, he 32? Nah, that ain't the same Casey Jones.
No. Allie Raisman, the gymnast, her birthday is today. Let's go with, who else? Sean Merriman.
Oh, there you go. I knew we'd get somebody to come up into the up-to-date rank.
Brian Urlacher's birthday is today. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kendall Gill. Okay, NBA star Kendall Gill's birthday is today too. Okay,
yeah, there's some birthdays in here.
Yeah, interesting. When we get to the football years months, that's gonna be really good when you start going back into history, because that's when the football stuff will be up on it rather than all baseball.
That's true, or hockey, yeah.
Or hockey, yeah. But that's what we normally do: try to go back into history and see, what happened back in history on the same day of the same day, but back in history.
We should have those old librarian glasses that we bust out for this.
Yeah. Well, there goes another one, bruh, that we pull out of our rabbit out of our hat somehow.
I didn't think you were going that route. I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, but this has been another edition of the Casual Sports Show. We'll try to do it again next week, Bird Gang. We'll see you then. Peace out.
See you.